Plucky, bold and the beautiful heroine Brooke Logan was on the outs in 1993. She'd given birth to two Forrester heirs, little Eric and Bridget, but she had no real standing in the family, no man, and no prospects. Soon, however, everything changed and Brooke was in the driver's seat at Forrester Creations. Bold and the beautiful, Brooke had believed Stephanie Forrester, Susan Flannery, had lost Eric Forrester, John McCook, to Sheila Carter, Kimberlyn Brown, but she was in high heaven that neither Eric nor Ridge Forrester, who was happily married to Taylor Hayes, was falling for Brooke's charms anymore. Brooke wagered that Ridge, being Bridget's father, later, that turned out not to be true, would tear him away from Taylor, but Brooke lost that bet. Forrester Creations lawyer Steve Crown, Perry Stevens, pointed out to Eric that Brooke hadn't signed an employment contract at Forrester Creations during the time she worked there. Therefore, she owned the patent to Belief, a rumple-free formula used on linen that was set to make the Forresters millions. Steve and the Forresters didn't use ethical means to get Brooke's cooperation. Around this time, Brooke started dating Connor Davis, Scott Thompson Baker, who was not only Ridge's old football rival but also a savvy corporate attorney. The Forresters almost win again. Ridge leveraged Brooke's feelings for him and she signed over her rights to Belief. However, Ridge left Brooke's signed copy behind, taking the unsigned one back to his family. Oops. Surprisingly, Brooke was all set to give the Forresters what they wanted when she learned that Steve, who'd been posing as her massage therapist, was a Forrester attorney. Furious that the Forresters tried to trick her, Brooke changed her mind. Stephanie exploded at Brooke, telling her she had no moral right to Belief. Brooke, who'd been verbally, emotionally, and physically threatened by the Forrester matriarch for years, had had enough. Stephanie started to walk out the door but Brooke wouldn't let her go. Steph turned around and slapped Brooke, as she'd done so many times over the years, but this time, Brooke slapped Stephanie back. Game on, bitch. Brooke and Connor presented the Forresters with an ultimatum. In exchange for Belief, Brooke would receive 1, a consultation fee; 2, an office of her choice; 3, a personal secretary/staff; 4, a limousine driver on call 24/7; and 5, an expense account. Eric agreed, but Connor noted there was a 6th and final stipulation. Brooke would receive 51% of all issued stock in Forrester Creations, effectively making her everyone's boss. Bold and the beautiful, Brooke Logan takes center stage. The Bold and the Beautiful's Catherine Kelly Lang truly stepped up in the storyline as Brooke was positioned to get revenge. She didn't become unlikable in this tale. In fact, she emerged as the victor, someone who couldn't help but let Stephanie know that she wasn't always going to get the best of her. Brooke's payback was overdue and viewers ate up every moment. Go ahead, say what you're going to say, Brooke taunted Stephanie once she was in a power position. Even Steph knew she should hold her tongue once she realized Brooke held all the cards. Work down on your knees if you think that's going to help. Eric scolded Brooke for being childish, but she wasn't interested in hearing what he had to say. Go to hell, Eric. Brooke shot back. Don't any of you dare pass judgment on me after what you've pulled. I have waited for this moment for 6 long years. Brooke informed the Forrester matriarch. Finally, Stephanie, it is my turn. Yours is over. Brooke tore up her signed contract and informed Eric, Ridge, and Stephanie that there are going to be some changes around here. You better be ready for them. B&B's Forresters draw battle lines. The Forresters brought an attorney, Elliot Parker, Robert Gentry, so that Brooke wouldn't be reminded of Steve. Elliot pointed out that if the Forresters didn't agree to Brooke's demands, she'd take Belief to the highest bidder and maybe sue the Forresters for back profits. The Forresters feared bankruptcy if there were to occur. Eric exploded at Brooke's demand. Who do you think you are? I don't even know who you are anymore. Eric ordered Connor and Brooke out. Elliot realistically pointed out to the Forresters that owning 49% of something worth millions was better than owning 100% of nothing. Stephanie made one final plea to Brooke. She told her nemesis that she'd give Brooke all of her own personal shares in the company, which would force Stephanie out, but Eric and Ridge would remain in control of Forrester. Brooke shrugged it off. Why take Stephanie's partial stock when Brooke could negotiate for over half of the total stock? Brooke Logan is bold and beautiful and victorious. The Forresters begrudgingly agreed to Brooke's demands. In exchange for 51% of Forrester, the family owned the bee leaf patent and continued their company, with a new leader in charge. Brooke couldn't resist enforcing the rest of her contract. She took over Stephanie's office, throwing the matriarch out as Stephanie had tried to eliminate her for many years. For Brooke, this wasn't just about payback or financial gain when she took over Forrester. She introduced some innovative ideas to the fashion house, which were both financially and creatively successful, including the men's line in Brooke's bedroom. Stephanie was dead set against Forrester Creations turning away from anything other than high-end couture, which the family had established itself by creating. Again, Stephanie lost. Later, Brooke's personal life took a twist. The year after she took control of Forrester, Taylor was presumed dead in a plane crash, leaving Ridge a widower. Brooke and Ridge married on the beach in Malibu with all the Logans and Forresters in attendance. Soon, the union was ruled invalid following Taylor's return. However, Brooke was still in charge at Forrester and remained in that post for many years. Brooke taking over Forrester Creations is a storyline that should be studied by every writer looking to combine the boardroom and the bedroom on a soap opera. The tale was years in the making and the repercussions continue to play out to this day. The Bold and the Beautiful, BB, airs weekdays on CBS. Check your local listings for airtimes. For more about what's coming up in Los Angeles, check out all the latest that's been posted on B&B Spoilers, and for an in-depth look at the show's history, click here. Ad block test, why?